Hi, I'm going to show you a quick example of how to find the derivative of a function like this. When we have the log base 4 of the sine of x. So what's tricky about this function is that a lot of people don't really know how to find the derivative of a log with a base because it's pretty weird. But what we have to do in these situations is change the way the log base 4 function looks like, so it can be easier for us to find a derivative. And as you can see, this is also an example of a chain rule. So in order to change this, we're going to rewrite this function. Now I'm going to show an example of functions like this. If we have, for example, the log of base 3 of x, we're going to, a way to rewrite this is we do the natural log, the ln, of what? Of whatever's on the inside. So as you can see here, all we have is x on the inside, the log of x, right? So whatever that is, that exact same thing, we're going to write on the inside. So all we write is x. And finally, we divide it by the natural log of what? See this part right here, this number, the base, is just 3. So that little number, we're going to put it in here. So we'll just put in 3. So from log base 3 of x, we do the natural log of whatever's on the inside divided by the natural log of the outside part, the 3. And then you're done. So that equals that. So we're going to use this idea, right, in order to rewrite this function. So this is how we do it. This function is going to equal, right, so we start off with the natural log of whatever that is. We copy this exact same thing in here. So we just write the sine of x. Next, we're going to divide that whole thing by the natural log of, so we did the natural log of whatever's on the inside, and we divided it by, remember, the natural log of the base. So all that we put here is 4. So now we rewrote our function. So our function is equal to this, and it's also equal to this. So now we're going to find the derivative of this right here. So we went from here to there. So how do we find the derivative? First, let's recognize there's a constant in this function. And the constant is this part right here, right? The natural log of 4. We can also have this 1 divided by the natural log of 4. Because this is in the denominator. So what we're doing is we have the natural log of the sine of x, and we're multiplying that by 1 divided by the natural log of 4. Right? We're not multiplying it by the natural log of 4. We're multiplying it by 1 divided by the natural log of 4. So another thing is, what is this? This is a number, right? The natural log of 4 is a number. There's no x's or y's. There's no variables in here. So this is just a constant. So when we find a derivative, a constant never changes. It will stay the same. So what we're going to do is write this on the outside and then find the derivative. So we leave this part alone. So the first part we're going to do for our derivative is we're going to have 1 divided by the natural log of 4. I'm just going to put this in parentheses to know that's a constant. It's just a number. That'll be on our side. And next we're going to have to multiply it by what? So we put our constant on the outside. So now we worry about this function. So it'll be a chain rule, right? Because we have a function inside of a function. So our outside function is the natural log function. So what we're doing is the natural log of something, right? So, and then our next function is the sine of x. And you could think of x as a function too, but when you multiply the derivative of x, it won't change anything. So let's focus on the natural log function. The derivative of the natural log of anything is just going to be 1 divided by whatever is on the inside of the natural log. And here in this case, it's just sine of x. So the natural log of that is just 1 divided by what's on the inside. So we're just going to rewrite sine of x. Alright. Now the last thing, once we did 1 divided by whatever's on the inside, we multiply by the derivative of what's on the inside. So here, it's just going to be something you're going to have to memorize, right? The derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. So the derivative of our inside of the natural log is cosine of x. So we're going to multiply everything by cosine of x. So we have constant on the outside, 1 divided by whatever's on the inside of the natural log, because that's how you find the derivative of the natural log. And then the next step is we multiply by the derivative of what's inside of the natural log. And if you want to, you can go even further, because recognize that sine of x has parentheses inside of it, and x is another function you can think of. And you don't have to, because the derivative of sine of x is just cosine of it. But also the derivative of x is just 1. So it doesn't change anything, but let's just say we multiply by 1. So now, basically, we could say that we're done once we have that, but not really, right? That's our derivative. We have to simplify, at least. So let's see what we get. This is all going to equal to, let's leave 1 over ln of 4 on the outside. So we have, let's see, we have the cosine and the sine. So we have cosine of x divided by the sine of x. Now, the sine over cosine is the tangent of x, but cosine over sine is the cotangent. So that is a cotangent of x divided by the natural log of 4.